we wanted to highlight this yesterday in JFAC, the Joint Finance Appropriations Committee, which is where the legislature, this is the committee that sets the budget. Okay. And right now what they're going through is they're going through some brief presentations from all of the different departments and agencies. They'll come before the committee. They'll kind of outline their big asks for the year in terms of their budget. And that'll give an opportunity for the legislators on that committee to ask questions and get some clarifying answers, and then also request some more information for when they actually do submit their budget for an actual vote and approval. So, and these folks have been working long hours. I mean, the JFAC folks are up all night. They're up way early, and all of the folks that are working in these budgeting offices of their own divisions and stuff are working with these legislators. So it's a lot of moving parts, a lot of activity. And I want to kind of highlight something here because these are the types of questions that need to get asked during committee. And it's fascinating too, because there's this whole government, how government kind of creates a problem and then it creates a solution to its own problem. And it always seems to find a way to spend even more money, more of yours and mine money. So Josh Whitworth is the director of the Idaho Board of Education, right? Is that what it's called? I get all these titles mixed up. But he was before JFAC, and there was a question about and let's put this up. Let's put the PDF up on the screen. The budget line here. This is the workforce, the public-private workforce capacity grant. So this is $15 million that the State Board of Education is asking the legislature. They're asking for $15 million, okay, to be made available as a grant. Now, this grant, you can see here, will allow institutions to build infrastructure capacity if it relates to workforce training and in-demand careers. If that term workforce training and in-demand careers sounds familiar to you, it should, because that's the whole point of the launch grants. The launch grants, which passed with the launch bill a couple of sessions ago, this affords $8,000 to high school graduates and adults if they choose to go into an in-demand career field, and then they need to be trained for it. So if you want to go be a welder, instead of the welding company or whatever paying for your training or bringing you on staff and you learning the trade as an apprentice or working like normal, the state has said, no, we'll come in and we'll pay $8,000 so that all these different folks can learn all these different career fields that are in demand in Idaho. And the Workforce Development Council has a list of we've showed it before last year. I think the top one was like office clerk. It was like the most in-demand thing. So if you want to get $8,000 to go learn to be an office clerk at a college institution or a trade school, that might be available to you. So all that to say that there has been, I guess, a apparent uptick in the amount of students that want this training. And so but the capacity to train these people, to educate these people in terms of where can we put them, the classrooms, the whatever, wherever they're being trained, the infrastructure is now limited. So Josh Whitworth went before JFAC to answer a question about this $15 million ask. And let's watch a little bit of what he tells them.
The other side of that, what I'd be looking at and what we've seen in talking with industry out there, we have huge interest and demand in mining. We have huge interest and demand in forestry. We have huge interest and demand, let's say, in nuclear engineering stuff for the growth of Idaho. Welding, fabrication, mechatronics, as we get into all these kind of programs that are at capacity from a facility base, from a faculty base, but have tons of demand from the student. And as we talk about what creates demand, you have to have students, or the ability to educate, you have to have students, you have to have faculty, and you have to have facilities to do that. And what we've seen with the growth of demand for higher ed, and our numbers are showing as you look at our fact book, that post-secondary education is increased in Idaho when many of our peers have actually decreased. And so we see that need, but what that creates is that capacity problem at our institutions where we might not have enough
Let's pause
seats
it.
for welders. And
So notice what he said there, that we've had an increase in this post-secondary education while other places have had a decrease. Now, of course, part of that is that the industries are growing here, so there's more of a demand for these careers. But do you know what happens when you start handing out $8,000 a pop? You're going to have people take advantage of that. So no wonder there's an increase in folks looking for this type of education. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. Let's continue.
Coming from Mackey, I actually have a guy that works for me who's struggling to get into a program because it has so many students interested in that welding program that, he probably has to wait out a year. And that's not good for our industry. And so as we've talked with our partners in our institutions, these funds are really to be directed towards those highest demand needs in our communities. And that's based on technical advisory committees, business committees, and then what we're seeing in the in-demand career list and activity that we're going out there. But then also having that put skin in the game. So there's actually industry asking for these people because they need them. So if we're going to make a bunch of microreactors, right, what do we need to make sure that our pipeline of students and workers can actually get to that? And this program is designed to address that in a very real way.
Okay, that's the program. So again, what is the program? Let's show that budget line item again. The program is to ask the state for $15 million to sort of be matching grants, right? In a 1-on-1 or 1-to-2 ratio, it says down here. The funds will be awarded to institutions which raise private dollars to match any state investment. So if a university like Boise State or Idaho State University, if they want to expand a department and build infrastructure to take on the demands of these folks who are looking for this training, they're going to have to raise private dollars as well, and then have matching dollars to go towards whatever it is they want to build. So I don't know. My thinking goes, if that's how it works, then if if a company comes along and says, "Oh yeah, we'll donate $100,000 if you guys are going to put in $100,000 to build something that will benefit our company," and then we probably get a tax write-off, right? Because you're donating it to a higher ed, right? So they get a tax write-off, and then maybe because they put so much money in, maybe the name of the building is called whatever their company is or whoever the CEO is. I mean, it's like, do you see what happened here, folks? The government created a program that was giving out money to all of these potential students. They have nowhere to put the students, so now they're asking for more money so they can build places to put these students. And the companies don't have to pay anything. But if they do want to pay something, they may get a tax write-off because they're donating money. I mean, I don't know, folks. I mean, I don't have all the answers, okay? And I know some of my haters out there are like, well, what do you do? What are you going to do? I don't have all the answers. But I know that there has to be some better ways of thinking on this issue. And usually it's the free market. That's where I tend to go when we want to solve things, is the free market. Let the free market work itself out. It will work. We've seen it work in the past. Anytime government comes in here and starts spending all this money, I mean, 15. We just got through talking about how much money is being spent for accreditation agencies, right? We're outsourcing that. We could do it cheaper in here and have it be more effective. It's the same thing here. The free market should be doing this. Companies should be training their own employees.